Silicon Valley, technology, art, green, and sustainability. Welcome to another episode of Silicon Valley Tech, Art, Green, and Sustainability. Today I'm very honored to have a gentleman with me who's a doctor, a reverend, new nickname tonight, Mr. Hollywood. No, just kidding. Dr. David Bruner from Center for Spiritual Living, San Jose, and amazing man, both personally and with what you do every day is just amazing. So Dr. David, welcome.
Thank you.
And tell us a little bit about you. And I have a surprising first slide for you when you start telling us about you.
Okay.
What do you do in your spare time? Where are you from? Tell us about you.
Wow. Okay. So I'm originally from Los Angeles, and I moved to Northern California 14 years ago, and I really love it here. It's extraordinary.
14 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I remember my first year of moving here to the Bay Area. I was pining for LA, and then after about a year, I found that when I returned to Los Angeles, I'm grateful to visit there, but I no longer have that hunger because now I feel at home here.
I have lots of family there, and I always liked visiting, but I always liked coming home after the holidays.
Yeah. It's really nice to come home.
Yeah.
So I live here in the Bay Area, and I'm blessed to work at a spiritual center, in which our reason for being is to create an environment wherein people can be returned to their natural state of wholeness. But if you don't mind my asking, why are you doing this? What do you do?
Why
are you doing this?
Why
do you do this? Yeah, why do you do this show?
Well, the long and the short of the story was I had a client back in 2006, and we were in Sunset Magazine. I had gotten the client placed, and she left to a World Glass show. And she said, Heather, can you manage the project? And I was like, oh, I'm not a construction project manager. I'm a marketing director. What do I do? And she said, well, just take notes. And I was like, oh, I could do that. I took journalism. It was one of my degrees at San Jose State. Wasn't utilizing it, and I took a lot of notes, and I was researching. And then she came back, and she said, Heather, what did you see? And I said, what didn't I see? And I said, the really weird thing for me was the architect, builder, and designer didn't speak to each other at all. And this is Silicon Valley. We're used to sharing information, and if a company's new and hot, it does well, the community does well, there's more jobs, maybe it's a worldwide company. So that struck me weird, and I had said to her, these people didn't speak to each other. And she said, that's typical. It doesn't matter if it's a commercial building, like Center for Spiritual Living, or a home, or if the client is, Sunset Magazine. Those clients are not gonna get the information from those three people until the client's in the room, and they're not gonna share. So inconvenient truth came out at that time. Greenwashing was a new word, and I was thinking about that and these other issues with these, people we were working with. And I thought there needs to be an educational website with legs, and one of the legs being a TV show.
Yeah. And
the rest is kind of history, but I don't want to bore the audience with that because they can go on the website and read. So you bike too. Tell us about that.
Bike.
You bike. Let's bring that picture up. That's why you're in such fabulous shape.
Oh.
That is a great photo.
Wow. I got to tell you, it was 2007. In 2007, I was out of shape, and I was drinking too much and smoking too many cigarettes.
I could never imagine you being out of shape.
Yeah, and I remember sitting on it was actually 2006. I was sitting on the floor in front of my fireplace, pretty unhappy when it occurred for me that I needed to do something, because they say you're only as sick as your secrets. So I spoke to a therapist at length, and he helped me create something that worked. He said, you need to create a life, perhaps create a year of saying yes. And so I committed that I would do 1 year of saying yes, having really no idea what I was going to get myself into, because it's remarkable how many times the world will offer you something like, would you like to join me at a movie?
Or a cup of coffee, or whatever.
Do you want to help me move? Or how about the box girl at Safeway who, as she's handing you your gallon of milk, says, would you like help out to your car?
I always remember you saying that now. And whenever somebody asks, I say yes, even if I don't need it, because they may need a break, right? From being inside the store all day.
So I was at dinner with some friends, and they said they were talking about this ride that they do every year from San Francisco to Los Angeles.
And this was 2007?
It was late 2006, yeah. and they said they were doing the AIDS life cycle, and that's a 565-mile ride.
So it's the acronym's ALC.
ALC,
Okay.
yeah, AIDS life cycle. So they said, are you going to ride? I was thinking it was...
And how much
Sure.
were you at that time?
Sure. I hadn't been on a bicycle in 20 years.
Wow.
And so I immediately was on a learning curve.
So how many miles is that?
565.
And it's like
In
4 days?
7 days.
7 days.
And there's 3,000 cyclists from all walks of life. There are professional cyclists and those...
And your glutes after 7 days, you probably need a professional masseuse and a hot tub and...
And I'll tell you what, they have the volunteers for there. The infrastructure is stunning.
Amazing.
It's one of the reasons why I was asking you why you do what you do, because that particular ride is filled with people who care to make an impact. They really want to make an impact in the world. And I'm suspecting that that's your calling too. You want to make an impact.
Of course, yeah. So, and I guess this is show 95 today. So,
Congratulations.
Yeah, we started in 2009, and the idea was in 2006 to do an educational website with legs, coffee table book, blogs, educational website with legs again, a video being and so a friend of mine that had been doing a show at the local Comcast, which was before Create TV, had been doing a show 15 years, and we were meeting for coffee or wine or something, and he came up and he was really upset, and he said, there's this new nonprofit taking over the airwaves. And I said, yeah, that's great. And he said, well, no, because my time slot's been 7:30 Thursday for 15 years. And he was really upset, and he said, they're looking for producers. And I thought, aha, this is where I can learn about film production for this part of the website. And so the rest is kind of history. It'll be 5 years this spring, and this is our 95th show today. So yeah, so it's good. I have many friends that do the ride, and I've never done it, but I've always thought in the back of my mind I should do that. I like riding.
You know, what I found to be probably one of the most beautiful things is you get to experience for 7 days the world as the world could be. Because they even teach us hand signals. Like if you get a flat or something goes wrong with your bike, they teach us hand signals to tell people not to stop, because everybody wants to stop. Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? You have to actually tell people like this. So it's hard to change your flat tire with one hand, but you need to, or else you're constantly being bombarded with people who will help.
I hear it's hard to talk when you first, like you can't bike and talk.
Oh, I never had that problem. Really?
Because you're so out of breath sometimes that you can't. No,
I never had that experience.
Yeah, because you're in good shape.
But I got in shape. I hired a trainer, and I started going to the gym and spin classes, because I couldn't even wrap my mind around how am I going to possibly ride that many miles. And they said, it's easy. You're going to ride them 1 mile at a time.